learners and viewers, greetings of the day. In the very first part of the video, we talked about the fundamentals of ratio and proportion. In this presentation, or with few slides, we will be applying those concepts and will try to solve certain examples. Before that, whatever note or whatever strategy we will be applying or implementing for solving the examples, we can see it in the form of a note. Just to brief you or just to revise, ratio is the relation which one quantity bears to another of the same kind, or we say that it is a comparison between the two by means of division. What are different properties related to ratios? When I say that if A is to B is equal to C is to D, this is particularly a equation which is known as a proportion, right? So then in such case, when two ratios are equal, then the last one we saw that it is called as extreme, then D is called the fourth proportional to A, B and C. If, second point, if A is to B is equal to B is to C, then C is called third proportional to A and B. Mean proportional is calculated by taking the product and then square root of that. So if I have to calculate the mean proportional of A and B, it will be given by under root of product of A and B. If A upon B is equal to C upon D is equal to E upon F, so accordingly here, if A upon B is equal to C upon D is equal to E upon F, then each of these ratios are equal to take the addition of the numerator and upon addition of the denominators. If A upon B is equal to C upon D, if this is a ratio or a proportion, then the relation A plus B upon B. See, the denominator here gets added to the numerator and that quantity is written on the left hand side. C by D. Add this denominator to the numerator, it becomes C plus D upon D. Then in addition, it is called as componendo. Similarly, in subtraction, it is called as dividendo. Combination of addition and subtraction is called as componendo dividendo. Fine. So here add the denominator to the numerator. That quantity divided by the denominator will be called as componendo. Subtraction with the same denominator, dividendo. Addition as well as subtraction of denominator from numerator, yeah, adding the term to the numerator, this combination is called as componendo dividendo. Now we see certain simple examples, very simple preliminary problems which will help you to solve the examples related to the ratio and proportion. 48 oranges are to be distributed among two persons without cutting any of them. Which of the following can be the ratio? Options are given to you. See, for any competitive exam where it is multiple choice and only one answer is there, we will be having with usually four options, right? So now these oranges are to be cut or distributed among two persons without cutting. So what can be the ratio? See, very simple logic over here is the number should be divisible, then it can be it fulfills the condition of the ratio. So here what I do, option A, 1 is to 7, take the addition of the number. If it is divisible, then fine, it can be the ratio. Option B, 2 plus 3 is 5. 5 48 is not divisible by 5, so accordingly this cannot be the option. 1 plus 8 9, 48 is not divisible by 9, it is not the correct option. 3 plus 4 7, 48 is not divisible by 7, therefore it cannot be the option. So wherever we have to find that whether that ratio exists or what answer is particularly in the form of ratio, whatever number is given, we will be dividing by that sum of the ratio, sum of the numbers in the ratio, and then accordingly we do. Second example, a ratio of number of boys to girls in a class is 2 is to 3. Yesterday we saw or in the previous lecture that 2 is to 3 is the ratio, right? That doesn't mean the value of boys is 2 and value of girls is 3. It will be when multiplicating factor is 1, but this can be 4 is to 6. That is also again reduced to 2 is to 3 the ratio. So in such case 20 is to 30 can also be one of the ratio for this. So it is not fixed that value of boys and girls will be the same, it is nothing but the ratio. So if 5 boys leaves the class and 5 girls join the class, the ratio becomes 1 is to 2. Find the number of boys in the class initially. What was the factor to be taken for boys? 2. What is the factor for the girls to be taken? It's 3. So accordingly, whenever there is an unknown factor, to simplify the ratio, take the common multiple as x. We are not knowing what is that multiple exactly, so what I take is I consider the common multiple as x. So let the number of boys be 2x, let the number of girls be 3x. Now 5 boys leaves the class, so what are the number of boys here? 2x. So leaves the class means it will be subtracted. Girls join the class means it will be added. And this ratio then becomes 1 is to 2, that is 1 by 2. So here 2x minus 5 upon 3x plus 5 is equal to 1 by 2. Now what you have to do? In the previous class or previous video you discussed that how it is to be simplified or to be solved. Crisscross, that is cross product property, cross multiplication of this and cross multiplication of this. So what does this give? 2 into 2x minus 5 is equal to 1 into 3x plus 5. Fine. Collect the like terms. This will be 4x minus 10 is equal to 3x plus 5. 4x minus 3x is x is equal to this 5 minus 10 will shift to the other, will give you plus 10. So x is equal to 15. What is value of x? 15. But you see that 15 is not the option over here. But what is the multiple of boys we have taken? 2x. So 2 into 15 will give you answer as 30. So what were the number of boys in the class initially? 30. So which is the correct option? This 30 is the correct option. Very simple. I hope all of you have understood the concept very well. Next, if a is to b is equal to 3 is to 5, then find 4a plus 5b is to 3b minus 2a. Very simple. Take the ratio a upon b. It is, take the multiple. It is 3x is to 5x. Multiply by 4 to this, multiply by 3 to b, and add them together. That is what is expected here, 4a plus 3b. 4 into 3x, this numerator 4, 3x will be multiplied by 4, this denominator will be multiplied by 3, and we are adding them together. Similarly 3b minus 2a, simplify it. 12x plus 15x upon 15x minus 6x, 27x upon 9x, x will get cancelled. 27 is divisible by 9, so the answer comes out to be 3. So which is the correct option? Correct option is b, that is 3. Next, the income of A and B is in the ratio of 3 is to 4, and ratio of their expenses is 5 is to 6. If B saves 25% of his income, find the ratio of their saving. See, income, expenditure, and saving, these are terms correlated to each other. Income minus expenses, if it is a positive number, we say that it is a saving. If it is exceeding, expenses are exceeding in comparison to income, it is a loss, it is not a saving, it is a depreciation or the deduction, or the extra amount which is not available is spent, right? So I consider the income of a and b, the ratio is given to a 3 is given to you as 3 is to 4. So take the common multiple as x, it will be 3x and 4x respectively. Expenses of a and b will be, take another variable, that is y, their ratio is given to you as 5 is to 6, 5y and 6y. What is saving? Income minus expense, so 3x minus 5y. Saving of b, 4x minus 6y. Now what additional condition is given? B saves 25% of his income. What is income of B? Income of B is 4x. From this, how much he saves? 25%. What is saving of B? 4x minus 6y. So B saves 25%. So what is saving of B? 4x minus 6y, as we saw, 25% of his income, that is 4x. 25% means 25 upon 100. 25 upon 100 is 1 by 4. So 4x minus 6y is 1 by 4 into 4x. 4 4 cancel. X, separate x and y. 4x minus x will give you 3x and this will be 6y. X is equal to twice y. Substitute the value of x as twice y in equation 1 and 2. What were equation 1 and 2? Defining savings of a as well as b. So this is how it will be y. This is how it will be 2y. So what is the ratio? Y is to 2y is 1 is to 2. So accordingly, here what is our correct option? Our correct option is 1 is to 2. I hope very simple. This is how, as per, whenever a word problem is given, try to convert reading word by word, sentence by sentence into mathematical terms. It becomes very easy. As we are dealing with mathematics, it becomes very easy to deal with the mathematical terms. So reading the question and interpreting it in the mathematical language or a symbolic form will make us easier to take the quick decision or the steps to be followed. Next part is, in short, I'll talk about various kinds of variation. There are three different kinds of variation. Those are joint variation, direct variation, and inverse variation. But what do you mean by a variation? Variation is a relation between the variables, stating that by changing value of one, how the value of other affects. Variation, as the word suggests, there is a difference. How that fluctuation or a deviation or a difference will come, it will completely depend on the variable, one variable, and its reflection in change, through change or deviation with respect to the other. Similarly, so three different kinds of variations can be discussed. Now what do you mean by direct variation? Suppose if I take two variables x as well as y, they are related to each other. So changing or increasing value of x increases the value of y, or if decreasing value of x, similarly we have the decreasing value of y, then this will be called as direct variation, because increasing value of x or decreasing value of x is directly affecting the value of y in the similar fashion. So when x increases, y also increases. When x decreases, y also decreases. So they are directly related. So in such case we write x is directly proportional to y, and x is expressed as k into y, where what is k? K is constant of proportionality. This is a symbol for proportion, direct proportion or direct variation, and it is converted to equal to by multiplying it to the constant of proportionality. Inverse variation, as the word suggests, now from this you can judge, as the word suggests, if there are two different variables, x increases, y decreases, x decreases, y increases, they are inversely proportional to each other. So it is x inversely proportional to y. So symbol for proportion is alpha, same, but inverse proportion, in that we write it as 1 upon y. Similarly, it can be expressed as x is equal to k into 1 by y. This is inverse variation. What do you mean by joint variation? See, when there are three different variables x, y, and z, x is directly proportional to y, keeping z as constant. X is directly proportional to z, keeping y constant. In that case, it is called as jointly proportional to the variable. So x is directly proportional to y, keeping z constant. X is directly proportional to z, keeping y constant. then x is directly proportional to yz, that is joint variation. So this is just the glimpse of extension part of ratio and proportion, that how it is responsible for the defining of the term that is variation, and how we can analyze or compare the terms in the form of variation. So I hope you must have learned the different kinds of examples, and we have gone through the various word problems as well, and simple examples that deal with the ratio and proportion. So in this particular video I have tried to give you the glimpse of application or implementation of theory what we have done before this. I hope you enjoyed learning. Wish you happy learning. Prepare well. All the best. Good luck. Thank you.